Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I please give indulgence to please stand for the national anthem. The national anthem, are you true, young man? Oh, yeah, damn, not Your Excellency, with due respect, will remain standing for Great Ife anthem. Let's go.
Great Ife, Africa's most beautiful land.
We are conscious, vigilant, progressive. You fight against all oppression, forward ever, but backward never. For learning and culture, sport and struggle, Great Ife, right.
I love you. There's only one Great Ife in the universe. Another Great Ife is a counterfeit. Great.
Your Excellency, you may be seated. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Osun State, ably represented by his deputy. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Your Excellency, former Governor of Benue State here, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council of our University, the Vice-Chancellor, members of the National Assembly here present, members of our Governing Council, members of the University Management, my colleagues, the gentlemen of the press, specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, by the grace of God, we have in our midst, for a very special occasion, a very special personality, an international indigene who has paid his dues. Somebody who is politically and administratively sound, starting from the local government to the state level and to the national level and to the continental level. He has, by the grace of God, represented Africa, the continent of Africa, on the Executive Committee of the Commonwealth Local Government Forum. His Excellency is an international citizen of Nigerian extraction, former Honorable Minister of State for Education, former Supervising Minister of Education, two-time performing governor, 8 consecutive years for Rivers State. Because of his sterling qualities and exceptional performance, he was given the title Mr. Project. And why what is happening here is happening, for those of us who may not know, that Obafemi Awolowo University has somebody who by the grace of God is angelic in nature, Spartan in character, sound in morals, beautiful in manners, handsome in attraction. Ladies and gentlemen, today at this prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, we're having the 225 Distinguished Personality Lecture title, Nigeria of Our Dreams. And the only person that has the passion, that has the mental sagacity, that has the intellectual acumen, that is administratively sound to deliver this particular lecture is His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today, Thursday, the 5th day in the month of June, the year of our Lord 2025. Your Imperial Majesty, with your kind permission, may I humbly introduce your son to you and to this gathering. His Excellency, our own, a juggernaut, a lawyer, a senior advocate of the masses, a man I found 1,000 times inspiring. People said I resemble him, and I agree. Your Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, please stand and wave to your people here. Thank you very much for clapping for me. Let me see the applause for Mr. Project. Your Imperial Majesty, the motto of this university is for learning and culture. So as we are obeying official protocol, we must also tilt towards the traditional protocol which Your Excellency represents. And I have, by the grace of God, I stand on the authority of the Honorable Minister, Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, to please kindly permit me to go on with that protocol, sir. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, to your immediate right is the Deputy Governor of Osun State. He's a prince of no mean standing. And as far as he's the prince of the source, as far as this garden is concerned, he is the acting governor. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I welcome to this occasion Prince Ogo Adewusi. I had wanted to say Ogunwusi. You know, Kabiyesi is Ogunwusi. And what I just know is that Wusi is there. Put your hands together for me. Ladies and gentlemen, there is somebody that everybody is happy to associate with. He is an international person, a traveler, a businessman par excellence before he ascended the throne of his forebears. He's here. Can we say Kabiyesi here? For those, Mumbo, Akiko Bani Bere, Akiko Bani Joko. Shall we say Kabiyesi again? We can do that again. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you. Kabiyesi, even your son stood up and said Kabiyesi. So on this note, Your Excellency, with your permission, let me recognize the presence of a former governor of Benue State, His Excellency Samuel Orton. Oh, you can do much better. And of course, I have former governor of Abia State, His Excellency Victor Ipeazu. I have the PDP National Secretary is here, distinguished Senator Samuel Anyawu. I also have distinguished Senator Olwe Onyeso. Let me say with due respect that I have the former Deputy Speaker, House of Reps, Right Honorable Chibudom Uche. Distinguished Senator Ma Ohabua. Please, let's put hands together much louder for these distinguished Nigerians. Distinguished Senator Philip Aduda. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, with your kind permission, I have in the House distinguished Senator George Sekibo. Distinguished Senator Sandy Ono. Distinguished Senator Olaka Wogu. Distinguished Senator Magnus Abe. I have here Honorable Victor Gadom. Thank you very much. Honorable Ken Chikere. Honorable Ifeanyi Ararume. And Her Excellency Ambassador Morin Tamuno. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I recognize all the members of council of our university and the members of management. Let me say that we shall be doing this introduction in phases because of our time. I'm very much conscious of the schedule of His Excellency, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. I would like to call on the Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university, the 12th substantive Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Simeon Adebayo Bamire, to formally welcome all of us to this occasion. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I cede this podium to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome everyone in the name of God Almighty to this particular gathering, and really appreciate you for coming to listen to our special guest speaker today. I want to begin by giving all glory to God Almighty for the opportunity of gathering here, and for always presiding over the affairs of our nation and states, in particular Osun State. It is with great honor and pleasure that I welcome you all to OAU for this special distinguished personality lecture. We are privileged to host a revered Nigerian patriot, a visionary administrator, and a bold principled public servant, His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, as today's speaker. I wish to especially express our profound gratitude and highest regards to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for graciously granting approval for the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to be with us today at Obafemi Awolowo University. We equally commend the President for his deliberate and forward-looking interventions aimed at reshaping and repositioning higher education in Nigeria, especially in creating an environment conducive for learning, innovation, and development. We are deeply honored by this presidential goodwill, and we pray that the Almighty will continue to grant His Excellency strength, wisdom, and success in steering the affairs of our dear nation. Let me recognize, as a matter of protocol, the Deputy Governor of Osun State. Thank you very much for finding time to come. We appreciate you. His Imperial Majesty, Kabiyesi, thanks for being with us at all times. We appreciate you and want to welcome you back from that land, the Chichion land. You are welcome, sir. Our Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Professor Shiyan Oyeweso, you are highly welcome. I also want to recognize our excellencies, the various excellencies that are here. We appreciate you for coming along with our speaker, His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON. The theme of today's lecture, Nigeria of Our Dreams, is very timely, deeply inspiring, and profoundly relevant. At a time when our nation stands at a crossroads, grappling with the demands of democratic consolidation, good governance, and inclusive development, this lecture provides an important space for collective introspection and visionary dialogue. Hence, it's a call to action for all of us. His Excellency is undoubtedly one of the most pragmatic and results-driven public servants of our time. As a former Minister of State, a former Governor of Rivers State, and currently the Honorable Minister of FCT, he has swiftly distinguished himself through bold urban renewal initiatives, accelerated infrastructure development, and a focused drive to restore order and dignity to Nigeria's capital. His commitment to service delivery, political courage, and uncompromising leadership style are undeniable attributes that have earned him nationwide recognition. Whether in governance, policy execution, or institutional reform, he exemplifies the kind of purposeful leadership needed to move Nigeria forward. I think he deserves an applause for that. We are proud that this distinguished personality lecture is being hosted under the auspices of Obafemi University, a citadel of learning with a rich legacy of intellectual distinction, critical engagement, and national relevance. OAU has long been a platform for robust discourse on matters of democracy, policy, development, and leadership. And that is why you have our dear speaker here today. OAU is pursuing plans to establish a regional governance and leadership center for sub-Saharan Africa. This center will serve as a hub for leadership incubation, high-impact training, stakeholders engagement, and evidence-informed policy discourse. Our goal is to nurture visionary, ethical, and transformative leaders across the African continent. At this juncture, I wish to express our sincere appreciation to the federal government once again for various interventions that are helping our university address long-standing challenges. These include ongoing efforts to resolve issues around electricity, dilapidated infrastructure, uncompleted building projects, shortage of lecture theaters and laboratories, and the acute needs for additional student hostels. We are particularly grateful to the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Dr. Oluremi Tinubu CON, for unquantifiable support and deep commitment to uplifting the standard of tertiary education in the university. We highly celebrate her grace, commitment, and excellence, and we take immense pride in counting the First Lady among the finest ambassadors of Obafemi Awolowo University. In this light, we extend a heartfelt invitation to His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, to join the esteemed league of visionary leaders who are championing the bold vision and transformative mission of Obafemi Awolowo University. It's a rare and profound opportunity for Your Excellency to leave a lasting legacy by supporting OAU in establishing a Center for Sustainable Urban Development and Youth Innovation in Abuja in your name. This center will serve as a dynamic platform for advancing sustainable urban planning, climate resilience, and youth empowerment through innovation. Positioned at the heart of Nigeria's governance, it will amplify the university's impact while driving inclusive growth across Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. With Your Excellency's support, this initiative will not only strengthen the university's outreach, but also immortalize your commitment to shaping a future of resilient, vibrant, and inclusive cities for generations to come. We have heard, seen, and tested the transformative work Your Excellency is accomplishing in the FCT Abuja. Beautiful and quality road networks. And we also love to experience a taste of such impact here at OAU. We would deeply appreciate your kind support in facilitating the construction of quality internal roads, to open up the next development phase of this university and in enhancing campus security through the donation of ILOX funds. Such gestures will serve as a practical extension of your values and vision, while offering our students and academic community a direct taste of the transformative leadership you exemplify. We thank you, Your Excellency, for your presence and for your continued contribution to the growth and stability of this great nation. On behalf of the Council, Senate, management staff, and students of Obafemi University, I extend a warm welcome to you and wish you all an engaging and enlightening session. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, with your kind permission, permit me to recognize the DG of Nostria, Honorable Chukwuemeka Nwoke. And of course, I also have in the house Honorable Eric Osage. Where are you, sir? Please, let's put hands together for him. With the kind permission of Mr. Project, may I humbly invite the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, the first alumnus of this university to be appointed as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Professor Shinya Oyeweso.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Osun State, ably represented by his deputy, Prince Kola Adewusi, the Prince of the Source, is our governor and the host governor. His Imperial Majesty, the Oni, the owner of the cradle, the owner of the source, where all civilizations was first begun. Due recognition, due acknowledgement. All the great men that accompany Mr. Infrastructure, Mr. Performer, the face of Abuja, the man you will love at every time to have as a friend, and to live in regret if you have him as an enemy. I have a 10-page, but I will not read because we are constrained for time. I must recognize the presence of my Vice Chancellor, the hard-working, indefatigable Vice Chancellor, and his team. This university is making giant strides under his watch. I also recognize all members of the governing council appointed by the federal government and those elected by Senate, congregation, convocation, and our global alumni president. The 100 good women, you are recognized, and you can see all of them in beautiful Ankara. All other stakeholders of Obafemi Awolowo University that are here, you are recognized. Our great student, the greatest of 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 the greatest, Great Ife. Now, why are we here? We are celebrating the current minister of the Federal Capital Territory, a recurring death in Nigerian politics since 1999, a two-time governor of Obiapo local government of Rivers State, a former chief of staff, a two-time governor of Rivers State, and a man that loves excellence, committed to noble ideals of good governance, a man committed to best practices. If you visit Abuja today, visit Abuja and see wonders. That is it. I come to Abuja regularly, and When you pass through the major city, if you are in Metama, you are in Setu, or you are in Garki, you will see the beautiful work. He has moved to the interland and restructuring. The man who knows how to collect debt from debtors. How can you be owing federal government money for 28 years, for 25 years? Federal Inland Revenue was sealed, and many other so Nigerian government will become richer through its efforts. And with friends like Fayoshe, if you want to study our guest speaker of today, study Fayoshe politics. Go and learn how to play politics. I can tell you, Mr. FCT Minister, in any time from now, people will be studying your brand of politics. And they ask, who is this man? Why are you inviting him to this place? Say, because he's a distinguished Nigerian. You say, a great man is great, not because of personal greatness. He's great because he has vision. He sees today, he sees tomorrow, and he can define for himself the heart and essence of his age. And that is what His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, has been doing over a period of time. So I love your politics, and I want to say I love you. One, I always stay on the side of law. Our minister is a product of law. He has a law degree. He's a great barrister and a very great stakeholder in the bench. He is also married to a judge of the Court of Appeal with beautiful Jordan, handsome Jordan, right here with us, right here. Jordan, please stand up for recognition. I want to appreciate my sister, Ambassador Maureen Kamono, who facilitated this event of today. Sani Daura, the director of FCT, I appreciate you. Lere Olayinka, the owner of the pen, the master of the pen, and the wordsmith, who can relate with anybody, friend and enemy, on equal terms. Lady Olayinka, please stand up for recognition. Viaran is the senior special assistant to the FCT Minister on Media. In conclusion, we are here because we are hosting distinguished personality lecture. Since 1961 or 1962, when Obafemi Awolowo University of Ife, now known as when it was founded, this is the first time that we are hosting distinguished personality lecture. The FC minister is also privileged to be a man of history, a maker of history, to deliver the first distinguished university lecture. The Dean of Law, are you here? If the Dean of Law is here, please stand up for recognition. Because our host is a lawyer, a barrister. I know the Faculty of Law has special needs. We need hostel for law students. We need to enhance the capacity of our law library. We need to enhance the capacity of e-library right there. If we have time, I will have requested Mr. Minister to pay a courtesy visit to the Faculty of Law, but I know you are hard pressed for time. On behalf of the Governing Council, on behalf of management, staff, and students of Numuruhuno University, Great Ife, we welcome Your Excellency Nyesom Wike to Great Ife, the university of first choice and the university with cutting edge research. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That was Professor Chiyan Oyeweso, the Pro Chancellor and Chairman of our Governing Council. Your Excellency, I'm very much aware of your tight schedule. But we thank God for your life because you are a political juggernaut that people will begin to study for master's degree and PhD. Because this is the only politician in Nigeria who we call a spade, and we still damn the consequence. And as he dey pay them, we did. Put your hands together for Nyesom Wike. Your Excellency, I don't know how to imitate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to entertain two good messages here. One from His Imperial Majesty the Ooni of Ife, and the second one from His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Osun State. Distinguished guests, I call on Kabiyesi first. His Imperial Majesty Ooni Adeyeye Enitan Babatunde Ogunwusi Ọ̀jájá second.
Eshe. Because of time, I'm going to stand on all established protocol, but I'm not going to just wave aside very distinguished political leaders that are in the entourage of His Excellency, Mr. Project himself. I want to thank all of you for standing by him and for honoring him all the time. I see two former governors in your entourage and very highly placed political officers. For me, I will give this honor to you for standing by him, because without you all, there can never be Mr. Project. On this note, please give the contingent a better resounding round of applause. Your Excellency, Mr. Project, I am very delighted today to finally receive you in Ife. This is something I've been trying for the last 9 to 10 years, and that's the truth. I've been trying to get him to come to the palace, to Ife, during his 80th tenure as a governor. And for me, it's a great joy for me that finally Obafemi Awolowo University made it happen. Your Excellency, Mr. Project and the current FCT minister, hate him, like him, what will be, will be. Please pay attention. Hate him, like him, what will be, will be. He's actually a politician that you need to study. Everybody looks forward to listening to what he will say. And for some reason, God has actually blessed him. I don't know how. He's been relevant very actively in the last 15 to 20 years. When he was a minister, all the way when he was a local government chairman. That's close to 2 decades now. And for someone to still be relevant today, there is something about that person. I think we're not doing any justification to him by just clapping for him like that. Your Excellency, there is no time today, but someday I will have that time to talk more about you. To me, I work with the spirits. I think there are some spirits around you that makes you to do what you are doing too. Very fearless politician, very energetic. He will say it as it is, irrespective of whose ox is God. We want to thank you for your effort thus far. And like I said, it's not everybody that will like you. But for some of us, we have a lot of respect for you because of your fearlessness. The topic you are giving today is very important for our dear country. Nigeria is for all of us, and you are playing your own part and you are writing down history. For your career, I will particularly say and give a very strong honor to the father of the nation, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You belong to different political parties, and yet you've been able to work together, and you are part of this government. It's still a mystery. I don't even know how it happened. For me, it's something that universities should be studying, and I mean it. It's very important. But I want to thank him particularly for seeing your strength and to bring you on board his cabinet for a better Nigeria. On this final note, I welcome you to Ife finally. God bless you, and God bless all the works of your hand, and keep moving. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Now, please, for those, thank you. Please, for those who do not know, culturally, we don't clap for Royal Majesties in Yoruba land. We say Kabiyesi. You know, Kabiyesi speaks at the podium of Oba Awon University. And I want to say loud and clear that today, by the grace of God, we have His Excellency who ruled, administered, governed River State for 8 consecutive years. And with that, he did everything with strong governmental authority. And that is one and only Nyesom Wike CON. By virtue of that, great Ife, you will see Mombo Oluode Mombo. For those who don't understand what he's saying, the VC will have interpreted that in English, but the VC has finished speaking. I want to call in His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Osun State, ably represented by. Please welcome with me to this side of the podium our own Adewusi, Prince Adewusi, His Excellency Adewusi.
Everyone, I stand here this afternoon on behalf of my principal, His Excellency Senator Ademola Jackson Nuruddin Adeleke, who would have loved to be with us here, but presently is not in the state. I want to welcome all the former governors, all the National Assembly members here present, my own dear brother. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, the two-term governor of Rivers State, presently the Minister of FCT, you are welcome to the saucer. The Pro-Chancellor, Professor Shinyewusi Oyeweso, the Vice-Chancellor, Kabiesi, my own father. Good afternoon, sir. For want of time, I want to recognize all the distinguished personalities here present. Please me, wherever you see me, say, not me. It is my principle. And I'm so conscious of the guest speaker today. I wouldn't want to waste much of our time. So I go straight to the speech that my principal has directed me to read here. It is my honor and privilege to serve as chief host to receive my brother and friend, Chief Nyesom Wike, who is to deliver the 2025 lecture. Our guest lecturer is a bold and firm political office holder, a man who speaks his mind no matter how harsh or critical. Our lecturer is also a tested politician and public office holder. He has deep experience in public policy, design, and implementation, of pushing through difficult policies and programs, both as a governor and now as a minister of Federal Republic. In this lecture, you should expect practical approaches and options to push to reform Nigerian society. He will open up root and branch reform is the only option to get Nigeria on the path of sustainable development. We are likely to be treated to how an orthodox approach is required to solve difficult public policy issues facing the country. It is therefore a rare privilege for both policymakers and academics to hear from the Minister of the Federal Military. You should, however, be prepared that will question present assumptions about governance. Presentations may challenge existing theories and practices. This lecture and the guest lecturer will raise vital points about good governance of democratic dividends. Many doubted our capacity to deliver. When I rolled out my 5-point agenda, even some members of my team raised an eyebrow. But 2 years time, we have constructed over 250 kilometers of roads, paid over 60 billions in pension and salary debt, rehabilitated over 200 health centers, upgraded over schools, placed about 30 pensioners on free health insurance, purchased 31 tractors for mechanization, launched Osun Digital Economy, upgraded sports sector with State Sports Commission, among others. We are side completion of several abandoned projects. University of Ilesha is now a reality, while Osun State University had 5 separate projects completed. We harmonized the tax system, provided a 45-day window for processing of certificates, implemented mining sector reform to increase revenue inflow and revive the state's free trade zones. Our secret of success is a fixation on set goals and a daring of bureaucratic bottlenecks. Like the guest lecturer recently said, we stepped on toes to get projects and services delivered on record time. We also self-sacrificed as our project account limit follows expenditure. Our ultimate goal is to use Osun State infrastructure deficit to less than 20% from over 80% we inherited in 2022. We hope to make Osun debt-free, and by now, we have reduced the state debt stock by 40% according to the Debt Management Office. We seek to ultimately build an agro-industrial state with strength in key crops. Ladies and gentlemen, we will learn a lot from my brother, the performing minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Federal Capital Territory. I thank you for listening, and God bless Osun State. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the purpose of our gathering here today, and I would like to call on somebody to read the citation of His Excellency. Somebody who is transparently honest and dangerously blunt. That is the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON. I'm a student of English Language and Communication, but none of my lecturers has taught me the type of adjectives I can use to qualify somebody who successfully administered a country for 8 consecutive years. Because if you go to Rivers State now, it's a country on its own. Your Excellency, may I request that you stand for the citation to be read by Dr. Damilola Adejuma.
Please be seated. Sorry, I don't want any reading of citation. What is there to be read? You have said everything about me, and so everybody's aware. And we are trying to, because of time. So whatever you have prepared, give it to them. They will read it. Kábíyèsí, Kábíyèsí, the Ooni of Ife, our own father, our own leader, and my friend. I was telling him that, but for time I wanted to stay here today and be hosted by the Ooni of Ife. Unfortunately, something came up yesterday, and I said, neither would have cancelled this program, but I said, anyhow, I must be there today. The chairman of this great University Governing Council, the Vice Chancellor, I kept the last greeting for my friend, the Governor of Osun State, who is ably represented by his able Deputy Governor. Members of this great university community, members of my entourage, let me give respect to the Dean of Law of this great university. Let me tell the Vice Chancellor, all the support you need, I will give you the support. And let me also say that while you were speaking, my wife sent me a text and said she support the Faculty of Law. So, on behalf of my wife, who will support the Faculty of Law, and I will tell the dean privately what I will do for them. It is with deep humility and a profound sense of honor that I stand before this distinguished gathering in the revered Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, to deliver the 2025 Distinguished Personality Lecture. This university is undeniably a citadel of knowledge, a bastion of progressive thought, an enduring symbol of Nigeria's intellectual and moral conscience, whose reputation for intellectual excellence and progressive activism has shaped the trajectory of Nigeria's academic, political, and social evolution. To be invited to deliver the 2025 Distinguished Personality Lecture in this great institution is not merely a personal honor. It is a profound affirmation of the values I have long embraced and championed, that is, visionary governance, the sanctity of the rule of law, principled public service, and infrastructural transformation anchored in justice and equity. I thank the Governing Council and the university management for this remarkable gesture, which I do not take for granted. The wording of the invitation letter sent to me is not only a tribute, but also a testament that amidst the cacophony of misrepresentation and political distortion, there still exists hallowed grounds such as this one, where truth, objectivity, and national purpose still thrive. That your University Council and Management unanimously selected me for this role in recognition of my commitment to good governance, the rule of law, infrastructure development, and transformative leadership is both reassuring and profoundly appreciated. In an era where when leadership is often misunderstood or misjudged through partisan prism, I consider your invitation a balm and your recognition a vindication and a challenge. Obafemi Awolowo University is more than an academic institution. It is a living idea, a place where minds are awakened, convictions are forged, and the future of Nigeria is endlessly interrogated. To speak here on Nigeria of our dreams is to engage in a conversation that transcends politics. It is to dare to imagine, and more importantly, to build a nation anchored on discipline, equity, opportunity, and shared prosperity. Thank you once again for your confidence, your courage, and your faith, not just in me, but in the possibility of a better Nigeria. The idea and reality of Nigeria. Every great nation begins not as a fact, but as an idea, an aspiration born in the hearts and minds of those who dare to dream of something larger than themselves. Nigeria as we know it today was conceived in the crucible of a paradox, consummated by the colonial imperative of amalgamation, yet nurtured by the enduring hope of unity in diversity. From the very beginning, there has always existed a powerful dream that this vast land of many tongues and traditions will someday become a beacon of harmony, justice, and prosperity. Nigeria did not emerge fully formed in 1960. Rather, it was the culmination of centuries of historical currents shaped by internal complexities and external interventions. The birth of the nation was both an end and a beginning, a long and winding journey towards self-realization. When the Union Jack was lowered and the green, white, green flag was hoisted on October 1st, 1960, the air was electric with expectation. Across cities and villages, across boardrooms and marketplaces, there was a profound sense that something extraordinary was unfolding, that the political kingdom had finally arrived, bearing with it the promise of renewal, dignity, and glory. Our founding fathers and the nationalists of that era did not merely seek power. They embodied a profound sense of mission, men of vision, character, and competence, respected across Africa and beyond, stood at the helm, ready to chart a new course for their people. Their confidence in Nigeria's potential was not misplaced. With vast natural resources, a vibrant and diverse populace, an indomitable entrepreneurial spirit, Nigeria stood poised to assume its place as the economic powerhouse of Africa, the giant of Africa, not just in name, but in action and impact. There was an almost sacred belief that this new nation will carry the torch of freedom, not just for itself, but for all of Africa and the oppressed peoples of the world. The Nigeria of our dreams was not a mirage. It was and remains a living aspiration, built on pillars of justice, equity, and shared prosperity. It is a vision of a country where ethnicity does not trump talent, where competence, not connections, is the true currency of leadership, and where public office is not a personal privilege, but a solemn trust. What went wrong? The Nigeria we see today is not the Nigeria we dreamt of. Somewhere between the ecstasy of independence and the stark realities of today, the dream faltered. We stumbled on the jagged rocks of corruption, danced too long with the ghost of mediocrity, and surrendered too frequently to the paralyzing cynicism of despair. Our institutions, once envisioned as pillars of progress, have buckled under the weight of impunity and ethnicity. The rule of law is often treated as an inconvenience. The social contract has frayed, and the moral compass of leadership has spun widely off course. The once vibrant hope of a united, thriving nation has dimmed in the eyes of many, especially our youth, whose immense potential now languishes in frustration or bleeds out through the desperate exit of the so-called Japa syndrome. From the global spotlight in 1960, where Nigeria stood tall as a rising star, she has tragically become a cautionary tale, a dwarf in many respects. We are hailed as Africa's beacon, rich in resources, vibrant in culture, and dynamic in population. But over 6 decades on, Nigeria has particularly underperformed and underachieved, so persistently and so profoundly that her name now evokes disbelief, pity, or ridicule in international cycles. Consider India, our pair at independence, once a third world nation grappling with poverty and colonial hangovers. Today, India builds aircraft, has developed a locally produced cervical cancer vaccine, and commands respect among the world's naval powers with its homegrown aircraft carriers. India is now the world's 4th largest producer of passenger vehicles. In 2018 to 2019 alone, it rolled out over 4 million cars. And Nigeria, we do not even manufacture bicycles, This painful contrast underscores the consequences of missed opportunities, broken leadership, unenterprising citizenry, and arrested development. Every fault line imaginable is virtually cracking open. Insecurity festers across the land. Infrastructure lies in the ruins. Our public school system is gasping for breath, and our economy is reeling under the weight of bad policies. Runaway inflation and a currency in free fall from a time when $1 exchanged for £1 to today, when over 1,600 naira chases a single dollar. The Nigerian passport has become a red flag at foreign airports. It's a symbol of suspicion rather than pride. Our global image tarnished by the case of corruption, fraud, and state failure. Our value system, once anchored on integrity and hard work, has been upended. The new gospel is money acquired at all costs, flaunted without shame. The youth, disillusioned, and restless are caught in a whirlwind of get-rich-quick scheme, internet fraud, ritualism, and other dark pursuits. Religious institutions, which ought to be moral beacons, have joined the parade. Wealth is worshipped from the pulpit. Celebrity pastors rival pop stars in flamboyance. Mosques and churches reserve front rows for convicted looters and notorious criminals. Even our sacred spaces have not been spared the rot. If you go to a mosque now, you go to the church, the front row is for those who time as rich. We have watched this decay metastasize while many in high places looked the other way or worse, profited from the rot. The litany of woes is long, and for many Nigerians, the dream has faded into a nightmare. A source of his nation has sat in, a crippling hopelessness and a numbing despair. And yet, in the face of this bleak landscape, we must ask, is all hope lost? Is this the end of Nigeria's story? Can we no longer dream of a nation that works, that cares, that inspires? Reclaiming Nigeria's dream. Permit me to share my strong conviction with you. Yes, Nigeria can still rise and soar to the pinnacle of the hopes and glory that attended her upon her birth. We have the men, materials, and resources to transport us to the zenith of the rediscovery, blissful attainment, and actualization of our potentials, that apogee of redevelopment and prosperity for all our people. Indeed, it is safe to say that many of the views people hold about Nigeria are shaped by deep misconceptions, judging the country as one might judge a lengthy book by its cover. But there's far more to Nigeria than what often meets the eye. Every country has had its share of trials, and though we grapple with flaws, setbacks, and a heavy national debt burden, Nigeria in its real sense is a beautiful nation, blessed with astonishing natural landscapes, a dazzling array of cultures, and some of the most passionate, creative, and determined citizens on earth. It is deeply saddening that Nigeria's glory is often dimmed not by a lack of potential, but by the failures of those entrusted with power, and by a followership that has too often become passive. Still, being a Nigerian means a great deal. I count myself fortunate to be a citizen of this dent of Africa. Our country, for all her troubles, remains an indispensable voice on the continent, an economic powerhouse, and a cultural juggernaut. Though the present may seem bleak, the future remains open to transformation. It is not too late to turn this land of promise into a land of fulfillment. To reclaim Nigeria's dream, we must first reclaim our belief in the possibility of that dream. We must reject the defeatist narrative that nothing can change. Change does not come from the top alone. It bubbles up for the conviction of a determined people. The Nigeria of our dream is not a utopia. It is a Nigeria that works. It is a Nigeria where merit trumps mediocrity, where justice flows like a river, and where every child, regardless of ethnic group, religion, tongue, or class, has the opportunity to live with dignity and die with honor. It's a nation that listens to the heartbeat of its people and allows the soul of democracy to find expression not only in periodic elections, but in the daily dignity of citizenship. It's a place where leaders are not predators on the public purse, but custodians of the people's trust, where leadership is purposeful and followership is responsible. It's a nation where institutions are stronger than individuals, where the rule of law is not a slogan, but a sacred covenant. Reclaiming Nigeria's dream demands a rekindling of vision and values. We must reimagine the country not as victims of its history, but as architects of its destiny. We must rebuild trust between government and the governed, among ethnic nationalities, across faiths and generations. We must rediscover the dignity of labor, the sanctity of truth, and the strength of unity. Most of all, we must believe again that our country, however flawed, is not beyond redemption. This work belongs to all of us. No one is too small to matter or too big to fail. Nigerian redemption will not be delivered by heroes or horsebacks, but by ordinary citizens doing extraordinary things. Living with integrity, speaking truth to power, raising children with values, and holding firm to hope even when the night is long. The dream is not dead. It merely sleeps, waiting for those bold enough, brave enough, and bodied enough to awaken it. The elements of our dream. If reclaiming Nigeria's dream is aspiration, then identifying the elements of that dream is the compass that points the way. The dream we speak of is not abstract or ethereal. It is rooted in tangible ideas, ideals, and measurable goals. It finds expression in the structures, systems, and standards that define a functional and flourishing nation. These elements are the pillars upon which the Nigeria of aspirations must be built. I have listed elements, but these elements are not exhaustive, but they offer a framework for a Nigeria we must build. One dream, many pillars, each is necessary. None can be ignored. Together, they point to a destination that is both possible and worthy of our collective pursuit. One of such is the leadership of our dream. Many scholars agree that the greatest challenge confronting Nigeria and chronically militating against our development is the plague of bad and mediocre leadership. Chinua Achebe, in his seminal work, I quote, "The Trouble with Nigeria," graphically captured this challenge when he stated that the trouble with Nigeria is fairly and squarely the absence of proper leadership. This statement, damaging as it may appear, is extremely difficult to controvert. Our leaders have, in the main, emerged through self-serving conspiracies that have little or nothing to do with national interests and development. This has been the case in both military and civilian contexts. In the light of the foregoing, our country has ended up with leaders who were not prepared for leadership. Indeed, some of these leaders were ab initio even reluctant to take on the mantle of leadership. Accordingly, Nigeria has substantially been infested with leaders without preparation, knowledge, courage, patriotism, and character. Little wonder our country has spent too much time groping in the dark and fiddling with common nuggets of development, such as basic infrastructure, primary health care, efficient democratic and judicial system, and a functional economy. A leader of our dream must be one who is prepared to lead, one who has shown character and resilience in the face of challenges. He must be that person who believes in the infinite possibilities that the Nigerian nation exemplifies while taking solid, proactive, logical, and well-informed decisions that will maximally actualize her potential. This leader must have the courage and audacity to act, build, innovate, and generally expand the frontiers of development with a hands-on approach that would emphasize excellence over mediocrity. Perhaps more importantly, the leader of our dreams must create a society of free and responsible citizens whose potentials flow freely and free enterprise thrives. Yasajara, in his book, The Sheikh CEO, holds that the development of Dubai is fundamentally traceable to the great leadership of Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the present leader of Dubai, and his forebearers. Through vision, resilience, and discipline, they have transformed Dubai, an otherwise desert patch, into one of the most enchanting hubs for trade, commerce, and leisure. It is instructive to quote Yasajara to wit, in 1985, oil revenue made up 50% of Dubai's GDP. In 2009, it was just 5%, and it has continued to decrease, with a Bloomberg report in 2018 putting oil production at least than 1% of GDP, while tourism, to mention just one example, contributes close to 20% of GDP. The foregoing abundantly demonstrate that whereas Dubai, like Nigeria, is an oil-producing country, its leaders, conscious of the fact that oil is a finite resource, decided to use the benefit of oil to proactively diversify the developmental trajectory of the economy in such a way that as it currently stands, with or without oil, Dubai economy is unshakable. This is how to plan. This is how to lead. This is the kind of leadership of the Nigeria of our dreams. Let me make bold. Let me make bold at this juncture to state that today in our country we have such a leader in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic. Our current president embodies a lot of the qualities that I have stated above. He has shown in several ways and at different times a stout commitment to the enthronement of democracy in our country, to the extent of even putting his own life on the line in the process. He has shown great capacity for engendering development as captured in the unprecedented rapid and exponential development of Lagos State under his watch and even beyond. On the first day upon being sworn in as president, he demonstrated rare courage by removing the hydra-headed fuel subsidy that was impoverishing generations of Nigerians and binding them into avoidable and perennial debt. Now, so many of our presidents before have said fuel subsidy is a scam, is a fraud. Yes, we know. What have you done? To show leadership, to show that you have courage. A leader is that having identified that this is wrong, and you say, okay, having known that this is wrong, I must take decision. A man that was sworn in that same day, he said, fuel subsidy bye-bye. How many people can have that kind of courage? Even though we know there will be problems. You say what? As a leader, I have to take a decision. It doesn't matter. I must show that courage. This scam, this fraud, other leaders have identified, and nobody has taken decision. I will take that decision, and he has taken the decision. That's what they call leadership. Leadership is not, yes, there's a problem. Take decision to solving such a problem. If I take this now, I don't know what people will say. If you don't take decision, people will say something. You take decision, people will say something. So take decision. And that is what our president has shown today. It doesn't matter what anybody will say. If he did not take that decision, so many people would have been benefiting from that. Today, that decision alone he took has led to the point where so much money now goes to the state. I'm not talking about APC. I'm talking about leadership. Right? I'm talking about what? Leadership, not party. As was you, Brother Tinubu, whether it's any party, whether it's not in a party, he has shown that he can take decision. He has shown leadership. It is not the party that makes you to be a good leader. It is the individual. After all, we have had presidents of different parties. All the parties. Nobody was able to take that decision. But as Waja has shown, if you like, he's an independent candidate. If you like, it's from any party. He will take decision. That's what leadership is all about. Leaders before him all spoke about the evil of fuel subsidy, but none had the courage to dare the blackmail of removing it. Tinubu did, and is fatally grappling with its inevitable, unintended, and sometimes orchestrated consequences of this removal. Today, our states have far more resources to develop. The debts are no longer piling, and the price of petrol is gradually but steadily adjusting downwards in tandem with the forces of demand and supply and the strict implementation of regulatory conditionalities. The overwhelming cry of over-centralization of power and resources at the national level and the attempted abuse of the doctrine of federalism is being systematically addressed through the creation of zonal and regional commissions empowered to develop developmental impetus to the respective zones and regions so that power can truly return to the people. The security situation is being addressed through proper funding and the training and retraining of our army and other security forces. There's no doubt that with the recent presidential approval for the recruitment of forest guards across the country to take charge of our forests, bandits and terrorists will no longer find incubation points and free terrorists to operate. You agree with me? Everybody has complained about this forest. How do we do? What do we do? No president had ever come out to say, okay, I must form forest guard. Those who go to the forest and say, get out from here. Get out. Enough is enough. It's not easy. It takes a leader who has the courage, who believes that the right thing must be done at the right time. A lot of our presidents have been here. Nobody was bold to take care of our forests. But this president said, I have the courage. I will do it. And he has done it. What I tell people, you don't need to like anybody. No. Leadership is not about you liking me. Leadership is about you being courageous to take decisions that will help us to move forward. Just like the President said, I'm not the first minister of FCT, right? No poor man lives in Maitama. No poor man lives in Wusetu. No poor man lives in Asokoro. All are rich men. No poor man does business in central business area. They say they're untouchable. I said no. I said no. I said, I will touch you. If the right thing is not done, I will touch you. That is leadership. They didn't appoint me as a minister for beauty contest. No. No. I'm there to do the right thing. So when you see them complaining, I ask question. Mention one poor man. Mention one poor man that has a house in Maitama. All rich men, you don't want to pay your tax, you will pay. You will pay. If you don't pay, I will touch you. And heaven will not fall. Rather, heaven will be at peace. Finally, let the point be made that no leader, no matter how endowed, equipped, and selfless, can truly succeed without the support and cooperation of the citizenry. Nigerians must wake up from years of cynicism, indifference, and hopelessness to embrace this new era of renewed hope led by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No nation has made any reasonable progress without the robust cooperation and collaboration of its leadership and followership. South Africa, for instance, under Mandela, achieved independence and made progress as shown in his book, Long Walk to Freedom, through this cooperation. Dubai is recording all these great feats through synergy between its leadership and followership. For as Jara put it, Dubai had a leader who acted quickly and decisively, not shaken by the challenges, and had his people backing him and believing in his vision. If we don't support the president now, all his efforts will be in vain. A leader takes a decision and gets the support of his people. So, not when a leader has taken a decision, you say, oh, you look at it from the point of party. I'm a member of PDP. Therefore, when the president wants to help the country move forward, anything he does, I will support because I'm a member of PDP. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. In time of crisis, you must rally around your leader to be able to succeed. If there's insecurity somewhere, people are being killed, you don't come out to criticize the leader. You must rally around and give him support. That is how countries succeed. Look at in America. If anything happens, whether you like Trump, you don't like Trump, all Americans will say, this attack is against America. We all Americans must stand up and rally around our country. But here, if anything happens in Brunu, in Yobe, in Oyo, or anywhere, instead of us to rally around and say this is our country, let's queue behind our leader. We say, oh, PDP does not share with this. APC shares with this. Labour Party, we don't know what is going on. That is not how a country can move forward. Parties are just vehicles to convey you to where you are going. We must rally around our leader. Everything you don't like, simply, he's not a member of your party. He's not a member of your church. He does not attend. He's not a Pentecostal person. He's not an Anglican. He's not a Catholic. He does not attend this mosque. He attends the other mosque. That is not a way we can move forward. This is the right time to rally around the leader. And you will see successes will be made. Don't look at it from party point of view. That's why when the Royal Majesty in Paradise was speaking, he said, we don't belong to the same party. We must not belong to the same party. This is the time to serve. It's not every time criticism. They've given you opportunity. Show that you are really working for Nigeria. And that's why I tell anybody, whether I like it or not, I will give all my support to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because he has shown that he has that leadership, he has that courage. Under him, there's nothing like cabal. Under Tinubu, there's nothing like what? Cabal. It's not a leader you discuss something with here before you leave. Or immediately you leave, something else has happened. They begin to ask, who is in charge of the country? This is a president that's in charge. He takes decision. He will always tell you, I've taken my decision. I pray to God to help me that will succeed. But for decision, I have taken it. I will not be a president that you ask, what's the president saying? I have said something. And for all of us to kill and make sure that decision works. That's the essence of the whole thing. Now, the time for belief is here. The time for action is also here. Together with President Tinubu, we can, as a people, begin the real process of building Nigeria of our dreams. Infrastructural development, that building the foundation of progress. Infrastructure is not merely about roads and bridges. It's about connecting destinies, unlocking potentials, and laying the physical and digital groundwork for national transformation. The Nigeria of our dreams cannot materialize without robust infrastructure. It's a place where a child in a rural Zamfara should access the same quality of education, healthcare, and opportunity as one in urban Lagos. It's a nation where seamless transportation, uninterrupted power supply, and digital innovation are not luxuries but essentials, woven into the fabric of everyday life. Infrastructure is the architecture of equality. It delivers dignity, inclusion, productivity, and hope. Even the strongest critic of the Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will agree that things are getting better as far as infrastructure is concerned. In this journey towards realizing the Nigeria of our dreams, it is both necessary and noble to acknowledge the efforts of President Tinubu. His renewed hope agenda is not just a mantra. It's a bold recalibration of national priorities aimed at repositioning Nigeria on the path of sustainable development. Through massive investment in infrastructure, President Tinubu has demonstrated a commitment to tackling the inherited complexities of our federation with candor and courage. Without infrastructure, development is crippled. With it, progress is not only possible, it is inevitable. The road to Nigeria we envision is paved, quite literally, with concrete investment in infrastructure and with leadership bold enough to see it through. The rapid transformation of Abuja today is a clear testimony to the President's dedication to infrastructure revolution in Nigeria. It goes without saying that although I drive the process in Abuja, it would not have been possible without the overwhelming and ceaseless support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Just within 2 years, Abuja has accelerated its evolution into a befitting modern city and capital of a great nation like Nigeria. I was telling the audience that I have to leave. It was a watch advert going on. It's unprecedented. 17 days of commissioning of projects under this agreement. 17 days. It had never happened. For 17 what? Days. Every day, every day, every day. We have to plead with the president, share it. Give some to the vice president. Give some to the senate president. Give some to the speaker. Let everybody see what he has done in Abuja. So, he has provided the right leadership and see what is going on. In fact, the ability to identify people who can deliver shows you have the capacity. There are people who don't even know those who will work. I heard somebody say the other day that he told the president, I won't support you. You have no capacity. A president who identified me, he said he had no capacity. Something must be wrong with you. A president who identifies who can turn around the FCT, he said he has no capacity. It is you who have no capacity to know that this one has a capacity. I don't know the person's name. I don't care. I don't care. I heard the person said he doesn't talk to children. May you not talk to children. See how you will survive. But who are children? Somebody who beat you 2015, 2019, 2023. He says a child. Let that child continue to beat you. Third, democracy and good governance. At the heart of the Nigerian dream lies the vision of a thriving democratic culture, one that transcends periodic elections and manifests in everyday accountability, transparency, and active citizen participation. It is a dream rooted in the belief that leadership must be anchored on competence, integrity, and a genuine spirit of service. In this vision, public office is not a privilege to be exploited, but a sacred trust to be honored, a platform for transformation, not self-enrichment. Good governance is the engine that drives this dream, ensuring that institutions function efficiently and equitably, and that the government remains responsive to the needs and aspirations of the people. As we reflect on this double ideal, let us be reminded that democracy, though the best form of government, is perhaps the most challenging to establish on firm footing and even more difficult to sustain. Democracy is not a potted plant that can simply be transported into any soil and expected to flourish without commitment, sacrifice, and vigilance. As Lord Diamond aptly stated, it is one thing to get democracy. It's another thing, often more difficult, to keep it, to consolidate it, to breathe real life and meaning to it, to make it endure. The Nigerian dream, therefore, calls us not just to wish for democracy, but to work for it, to build it daily through responsible leadership, engaged citizenship, and unyielding commitment to justice and equity. The rule of law and justice. A nation cannot flourish where laws are selectively applied and justice is for sale. The Nigeria we dream is one where the rule of law is not merely enshrined in the Constitution, but enforced with courage and impartiality, without fear or favor. The law is the social contract that binds us together, the protector of the weak against the powerful, and assurance that every citizen, rich or poor, powerful or powerless, can find refuge in its promise. Without it, a nation descends into chaos. Justice must never be commodified. We must therefore build institutions where no one is above the law, where laws are not mere suggestions, but binding instruments of order and fairness. Central to this vision is an independent and courageous judiciary, immune from manipulation and committed to safeguarding human rights and upholding justice for all. Quality education. At the core of the Nigerian dream lies the unwavering belief that qualitative and functional education is the bedrock of national development. It is the single most potent tool for transforming societies and empowering individuals to rise above the limitations of their circumstances. The dream envisions a system that nurtures young minds with the skills, values, and confidence required to shape the future, equipping them not just for survival, but for leadership in the dynamic 21st century world. From nursery school to the university level, education in Nigeria of our dream must be accessible, inclusive, and relevant, reaching every child regardless of geography, gender, financial status, or ability. In this vision, no child is left behind for lack of opportunity or support. Certainly, Nigeria, like many African nations, is beset by complex challenges, including sectionalism, militancy, insurgency, terrorism, and countless others that affect nearly every facet of national life. Yet, of all the solutions preferred, none is as far-reaching and transformative as education. A sound and dynamic educational system is a fountain from which the revitalization of every sector can flow, infusing governance, security, industry, and innovation with clarity, discipline, and purpose. Indeed, no nation can develop beyond the quality of its education, and the strength of a people is deeply rooted in the strength of their learning system. It is in recognition of this that I deeply commend the visitor of this university, His Excellency Bola Tinubu, for a visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to advancing higher education in Nigeria. Through his Renewed Hope agenda, bold and transformative interventions are reshaping the leadership of tertiary education, breathing new life into institutions and restoring hope to millions. In this regard, for instance, the establishment of Nigerian Education Loan Fund is a landmark initiative that has provided much needed financial relief to students, ensuring that no willing mind is denied access to quality education simply because of economic hardship. This is a monumental step towards realizing the Nigeria of our dreams, a nation built on knowledge, equity, and opportunity. Economic prosperity and inclusive growth. We dream of a Nigeria where prosperity is not the preserve of a privileged few, but a shared reality that cuts across regions, social classes, and sectors. The Nigeria of our dream is not only rich in potential, but also rich in productivity. A country where industries thrive, jobs are created, and the small and medium enterprises flourish under the enabling support of modern infrastructure, reliable power supply, accessible technology, and sound policies that fuel innovation and entrepreneurship. This is the Nigeria of our dream. Security and national cohesion. Security is the bedrock upon which every meaningful national aspiration must rest, for no dream can flourish in an atmosphere of fear or instability. At the heart of Nigeria, we envision is a society where every citizen feels safe in their homes, in their communities, and across the federation. Security in this sense transcends the mere absence of war or criminality. It encompasses the active presence of peace, justice, harmony, and a shared sense of national belonging. Ultimately, security is not just about protecting borders. It's about protecting hope. It's about building a society where every Nigerian can aspire, strive, and succeed without fear. A nation where peace is the norm, not the exception, where trust replaces suspicion, and unity silences the drumbeats of division. Indeed, the primary essence of the state is to promote and sustain the political, social, and economic conditions that guarantee the welfare and well-being of its people. The fundamental obligation cannot be fulfilled unless the state succeeds in the effective maintenance of law and order. National security, therefore, is not a peripheral concern. It is central to the realization of the Nigeria of our dream. Unity in diversity. Fundamental to the Nigerian dream lies a profound recognition. Our diversity is not a burden, but a blessing, a source of strength rather than division. Nigeria is a vibrant tapestry of ethnicities, languages, cultures, and faiths. And when this richness is harmonized, it becomes our most powerful asset. The Nigeria we dream of does not erase differences, but celebrates them. It does not impose uniformity, but inspires unity. It's a nation where identity is not a cause for conflict, but a reason for pride, where every Nigerian, regardless of origin or creed, can confidently and boldly declare, I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. Yet, unity in diversity cannot thrive in the absence of trust. At the heart of many of Nigerian challenges is a deficit of trust between leaders and followers, ethnic groups, religious communities, and even neighbors. Rebuilding this trust requires more than lofty rhetoric. It demands honesty, transparency, fairness, and justice. Our national policies must be inclusive, participatory, and responsive to both current needs and historical grievances. Dialogue, not propaganda, must become our common language. Our healing, not hostility, must shape our national journey. Only then can the beauty of our diversity be fully realized and transformed into a force for enduring unity and progress. The call of history. There comes a moment in the life of every generation when it's summoned by history to make a choice. It is not a kind of choice that waits patiently or repeats itself without consequence. It's a defining moment, a crossroad between complacency and courage, between despair and hope. That moment is now. And the nation that calls us is Nigeria. Bruised, perhaps battered, but never broken. Her voice is rising above the din of disillusionment. Somebody has sons and daughters at home and abroad, not to mourn her fate, but to mold her future. The call of history is not merely to remember the glories of yesterday, or critique the failures of today. It's a call to rise, to act, to believe. It calls us to abandon the paralysis of cynicism and embrace the transforming power of hope. It insists that change is not the miracle of the privileged few, but the mission of the willing many. No nation ever stumbled into greatness. It's always carved by the resolute hands of those who dare to dream and refuse to give up. We must believe again, not in a shallow patriotism that paints our cracks, but in a resilient faith that confronts our flaws and fights to heal them. We must dare to hope again, not because the times are kind, but because hope itself is a revolutionary act in times like this. And above all, we must act not because it is convenient, but because it is essential. History does not remember those who watched. It remembers those who built. This call is not abstract. It is personal. It demands something of each of us. Whether you're a teacher shaping young minds, a trader fueling the economy, a doctor saving lives, an artist steering conscience, or a public servant shaping policy, your role matters. The future is not waiting for heroes. It's waiting for people like you and me, men and women willing to do extraordinary things. We are the hope we seek. We are the builders we long for. If Nigeria must rise, we rise. It will rise because we stood up and refused to let her fall. So let us answer the call, not in the comfort of someday, but in the urgency of now. Let us write a new story, not of how Nigeria collapsed under the weight of its contradictions, but of how it rose on the strength of its convictions. Let us leave to the next generation not our regrets, but our resolve. Let me conclude by once again expressing my deepest gratitude to the Governing Council and management of this great citadel of learning. By granting me the honor of this platform, you have not merely recognized a name or a title, you have affirmed a journey, a purpose, a commitment to nation building. In choosing to see value in the work I do, you have not just stood apart, you have stood tall. You have not misunderstood my service. You have amplified its meaning for this singular act of affirmation. I remain profoundly grateful. But this moment is not about me. It's about us, all of us. It is a summons to rise, to rebuild, to believe once more in the infinite possibility of a united Nigeria. Nigeria of our dreams will not fall into our laps by wishing. It will be won by working. It will demand of us not only passion, but patience. Not only inspiration, but perspiration. Not only courage in moments of glory, but character in seasons of testing. Let us therefore rise, not as spectators, clapping from the sideline, but as architects laying brick upon brick. Let us rise above cynicism and mediocrity and embrace vision, sacrifice, and purpose. Let us dare to believe that greatness is not beyond us, but within us, waiting to be awakened. Let history record that we gathered here not to mourn what Nigeria has become, but to proclaim that Nigeria must be. So let us arise with clear eyes and committed hearts to build, to serve, and to dream again. Long live Obafemi Awolowo University. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Now please, can we keep clapping? Let's keep clapping. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Dr. Nyesom Wike, with the kind permission of the Pro-Chancellor Chairman of Council, we have few presentations to do, sir. Your Excellency, we have our people from River State who want to do presentation. Please come down right and please no speech. Just do the presentation. Are you here? The Faculty of Law, please come down with 2 other members of the faculty and the Dean. Then the Students' Union, please come down. And the last but not the least is the Vice Chancellor that will present on behalf of the Council, management, Senate, staff, students, and the entire university community of a prestigious university. Please, if you are not ready, I'll just call the next person because His Excellency has another thing to do in Abuja. Let's put hands together once again for His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, the Faculty of Law. The Dean Faculty of Law, please come forward. Your Excellency, please, your kind permission, please, can you come here, sir? The presentation, no speech. His Excellency has told you that he will do anything the Faculty of Law demands. Your Excellency, because of the picture. Now, what is there? Quickly.
Thank you. God bless you, Your Excellency. Our Papa in the house, our Father in the house, the Oni of Ife. Thank you for calling. My name is Kayode Taiwo Matthew, KTM. I'm the Law Student Society's President, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. The Law Student Society, Faculty of Law, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, presented to His Excellency Nyesom Wike, Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Abuja, in recognition of your invaluable support and contributions to the legal education in Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, oh yeah, take pictures. Go there, take pictures. See this boy. Move to that side there. Now, Your Excellency, we have, which one is on? The River State. Oh yeah, please come. River State. Your Excellency, River State, sir. Your Excellency, sir. Your Excellency, we have from River State here. River State. River State here. River State. Is the student union around? Okay. The student union. The student union. Sir, not yet, sir. Not yet, sir. You will deliver list. The student union. The student union, quickly. Open what is there so that you give to His Excellency, or you want it like that? Okay, okay. Now the Vice Chancellor. Now you can see the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. Nyesom Tiger DK Wike. You know, like it is only Tiger that can confront anybody. He can touch anybody. Yes, the next one quickly in that order. Oh, I love this. Put your hands together for this beautiful picture. The vote of thanks now. Quickly, Professor Tedora Funke Bello, please come forward within the space of 2 minutes. 2 minutes, Your Excellency, with due respect. Just 2 minutes. Don't mention him, just that, because we are behind schedule because of the...
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Chancellor of OAU, the Pro-Chancellor of the University, and the Chairman of the Governing Council, the Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamire, management, staff, and students of our great university, I stand before you today with deep gratitude and immense appreciation. First and foremost, I wish to express our profound thanks to our distinguished guest and lecturer, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital of Nigeria, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON. We appreciate you for the thought-provoking talk and the lecture given to us. Obafemi Awolowo University, we are deeply honored for your visit, and we hope this marks the beginning of every great collaboration. Thank you, Your Excellency. Also to our Governor, His Excellency. Thank you to our Governor. Thank you to the Imperial Majesty, His Royal Highness, Oba Ogunwusi Enitan. We appreciate you all. To everybody that has come, the senators, honorable member, we say thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Shall we please stand?